I heard you mention in your opening answer that even for somebody who wants to take a little bit of risk, instead of a credit risk fund, equity funds are much better. Indian equities have had a fairly stable and strong 2022 relative to the rest of the world, save for a market or two. Where or what category of funds would you are you recommending your clients to get into on the equity side? Is it large cap and maybe passive but large cap index funds, or is it a combination of large, mid, small, or are you recommending your clients to get into the broader end of the spectrum funds?
Well, my suggestion essentially, again, for each myself, effectively, would be to, again, it's on your risk of how much volatility are you able to take. And for us and my type of investing philosophy, I always look at intrinsic versus extrinsic value. And so I'm not really that concerned at the most part with the volatility, as long as there's no structural change to the intrinsic value. And because of our viewpoint, or my viewpoint of India itself, and my belief that there are a lot of tailwinds ensuring, or hopefully this will be our golden decade, digitalization, the China plus one, to minus China itself, reducing capacity. I believe that at least if you have that long-term viewpoint and you're able to have the right philosophy, sip your investments in by staggering into the market and park away this money. So essentially, you don't need it for the short term or even the medium term or long term. Let it do its work. I feel that, obviously there's a categorization, and if you're less volatile or less risk kind of taker, then perhaps go for those big caps. But if you want your money to really work, compound, perhaps look at the mid caps, which are slightly opaque to many people, need a bit of work, need a bit of polishing, and maybe the information isn't there. But because of this, there may be some good jewels and alpha creation within the space. So myself and my own risk reward kind of perspective, I really want to make my money work. This is where I'd be looking at in the long term.
Okay. Shalini, same question to you. What are you and Vishal telling clients to do? Large, mid, small, mid cap and small cap? What funds? Any thoughts?
Well, we've been singing this song for a while that a lot of the index orientation is pretty much expensive. And we aren't seeing the kind of, earnings estimates justify the levels of the Nifty and the Sensex. But yes, I mean, there is also this opposite view. We are aware of this long-term decadal growth. If I had to put my money, I would possibly look at, some kind of value funds or some flexi cap funds, not necessarily go for the large or, the giant players. I would possibly look at a flexi cap scheme. I would definitely look at some international allocation. I think international valuations are looking more attractive than India. So definitely look at international markets. It's a risky stand, of course, but yes. Then if you are an equity investor, you should be ready for the 5, 7, 10-year horizon. So